Hello Diamonds and welcome to ECOLife Season 16. This is the season where I cut the videos and make into conclusion variants. So let's take a look on the map. You can see the city is a bit differently planned and we have major roads going in different directions. So I was initially thinking that I should pick up some type of like wood cutting and like lumber related stuff. And for that, there seems to be only one location, which is just here in this jungle. For mining, it's very difficult because all the desert is really far from the road, so I cannot really do that. And yeah, like most of it is even like on the different islands, so it literally is impossible to complete without too much hassle, at least until the roads are all built. So it might be one of the good ways to get started at least, and yeah, so maybe we can put something next to the road right away. For a quick walk through the city, you can see a few of the buildings that have been made within the first few hours. So there are no roads yet, but those will come up very soon, within like the next few days. And yeah, during our way to our destination, we will quickly pick up a few vegetables and pretty much get ready for what we can do as a job or like work. So yeah, we need a lot of energy, and like kinda usually whenever you start the game, you end up in the biome that has all the corn and tomatoes. And in the jungle we have our papayas and pineapples and all that stuff, so I think we have enough food to survive for a while at least. And yeah, the only danger we really have in the jungle is like all the animals, because you might get attacked a lot, but this is kind of the risk I'm willing to take. And also it's kind of difficult to move around, there's so many roots and other plants. I think we are now getting close to our destination. So just a few more papayas, just to give us food when we need it. And we should start settling right here. So now I've set up the house. It's kind of small, just to get started, so probably for a few benches or something like that. So this is our new home in the jungle. I will need to still check what happens with the road and if we have any access stuff, but that's pretty much it for the time being. During my second play session, I found way too much forest that was cut down, but all the residue left. So for example, even some tree branches were laying around, not only the stumps and the wood pulp. So I tried to clean quite a bit, but as I'm still on the primitive tools, I didn't really have too much chance to work on that. So hopefully once we have the smelting running and new iron tools running out, then we can kinda do whatever can be done to clean the forests and all that everywhere around our place. But until then, we don't really have much choice. So we have to just run around, chop whatever we can, and then run back to our house, fix the tools. So that's pretty much what I was doing as well. So it was in the evening of the first day for me. So nearly 24 hours since the start of the server. And yeah, so this way we can make wood pulp that we turn into the mortar, which we can either use ourselves, but more likely just to sell it to the other people who actually use it for like roads or some rocks or whatever they need to make. On the second day, I started to do some more work. So there was kind of discussion about like that I was cutting a tree on top of the hill, and Sov was making the tunnel, and he heard like me cutting the tree. And yeah, so he mentioned kind of like that I'm kind of like above the tunnel, and therefore that I have to do a lot of digging to get to the road level. Which is something that I was actually thinking about doing anyway, because I needed extra storage. So this is pretty much what I was doing for a very long time. So I spent pretty much 2 hours to kinda dig my way all the way to the road and start building my store. So the store will be nicely hidden in the tunnel. It's quite nice entrance, but this will be later in the video. So yeah, I'm just collecting a lot of clay. At the moment we don't have pottery made yet, or discovered. So it takes quite a while before I can sell all of it. And at the moment it's just taking a lot of space in our area. So I'm kinda like juggling everything around, making new stockpiles and trying to fit everything wherever I can, but it's very difficult. So one moment I'm just going to buy myself a cart so I have extra storage space, but even then it's quite difficult to manage everything. So yeah, so this is pretty much me digging the big hole. So the new level for the tunnel, or I mean the main road height is 75, and as our place is really high up, then it means many blocks down. But happily it's just clay, not rocks, so like cutting through it is not so much work. Because if it was all like, I don't know, knees or something, it would be impossible. At least with the primitive tools that we have in our hands. And yeah, so I also have discussion with Sov about that this clay will have some future on the sales, and that it's also need for the asphalt concrete, which is kind of good. So pretty much that's going on now. So here we are, just to give pretty much a look what the new store looks like. This is the big tunnel towards the city and all the way to the desert. And this is kind of our store place, as you can see from the name as well. So we sell all the shale, which is what we mine between the clay. It at the moment isn't needed, but we also sell clay, which we can't sell at the moment, but future will. So, and the mortar is something I have sold before to Sov Engineering directly, but for the future stuff we can do it by ourselves, which is also very useful. And I have added double doors, so it's easy access to the carts. I know at the moment there's not really that much space, but at least it's something. And through the door, which is quite difficult to access, we have big stack of shale, which is something we just couldn't fit into the stockpiles. As you can see, they're pretty much full. So maybe we can add a little bit clay and a little bit hewn logs, but not much. And at the moment I'm keeping the wood cart empty, as I emptied everything to my campfire, just because it's wood. So when we now go upstairs, I have small space that I might use for some workbenches, so something I can come up with. And then I have even more stocked shale, tiny stockpile full of clay and more shale. So in this room I was initially thinking to have some of the work tables, but I just needed the space too much, so I stacked it up with all the shale. So it doesn't look what it's supposed to. And outside I put a lot of clay because it seemed kind of natural. Because yeah, I have so many stockpiles full of clay nowadays. It's like everything is clay. And yeah, so from the map I can see that there are quite new players in the deserts, so doing mining. And yeah, one of the players is really deep underground, so probably they're finding good iron from there. And yeah, they made their own special road that goes closer to them, their places. And yeah, so westwards the road is kind of getting on well. City side there hasn't been done much. And on the east side we have absolutely nothing, neither on the south side. On the north side we did have already before, but before we started doing the west side, and now they have added small extension more to the north, so we can get it connected within like few days, definitely. And yeah, there we also have few of the key players playing on the small island and a bit further into the other jungle. So yeah, this is what I can really see at the moment happening. So we have to pretty much come up with the plan how we can make it more useful. So let's see around a little bit, because like, well, I was thinking like about the specialities as well. I wanted to take carpentry, too many, logging, too many, smelting. We didn't have anyone, but now we do, because it was kind of difficult to get workbenches for that. Masonry and mining, it's not really useful. Butchery, hunting, this time around I don't want to. Farming would be a good option, but same time it needs a bit different area. Basic engineering, I think we have enough, so maybe other industries are more important. Campfire cooking, many people. And yeah, logging we already checked, so let's see. Yeah, and tailoring we already have 2 people. I think it's fine. So I don't really need to do those specialities because I still haven't picked one. I was thinking to do like wood cutting or carpentry, but it's unnecessary. So when we're going now onto the main tunnel area, I mean the main road, you can see that some other players have left a lot of branches still sticking out, so let's clean it up so we have like bit better road access, because the branches still cause the collisions and stuff, and also it looks better if it's nicely trimmed, like you do in all the cities and on major roads and all that. And of course I get hungry. What would you expect? So let's eat a bit. It's nice and delicious, so we have enough energy to continue. So yeah, this is kind of the end of the current roads, so hopefully it will get further. So let's try to access. It's very difficult, and we fell down. And we found a palm tree, nicely cut, but nothing has been done to it, so let's chop the stump and cut it into pieces so we have a bit more logs for our own use. It's kind of a good way to get a bit more materials. So yeah, free wood really. And yeah, it's a bit high here. Let's go around. Squeeze through. So yeah, it's a lot of jumping upstairs now. As I said, we have quite high up our house, and I need to add things to my carts because, well, I don't have space. So let's pick up the rest of the woods and also try to cut the few branches that are still left. It's really difficult because like I go to the edge, and I think the physics has also changed, because like you can see the step that it starts to fall down before it actually does. So I haven't noticed it in previous versions, so maybe it's something new. But anyway, I want to get that branch cut. So let's see, going closer. Can't access, so let's try further. Still not enough. I can't trigger it, so let's try this corner once more. Okay, now we can nicely clean it up, so at least it looks nicer now. And the bottom one, yeah, it's easy access, so probably helps to make better roads as well. And let's clear a little bit here. So of course, once the road gets built, then more cleaning is needed. We can't just leave it right here, because yeah, it will be much wider here. So all the trees that we were pretty much trimming, those will be going to disappear. Yeah, let's put the wood in and make some use for it. So let's do some hewn logs. I still don't like that we have to select the default one ourselves. I would prefer it to be like automatically set, So if I want something else, then it could be like I select, or maybe even add the auto function as separate, so you have like your own style available without clicking too many buttons. But yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. Maybe there will be a mod, or even the developers do. But yeah, I will leave the video here, so thank you for watching and see you very soon.